Hello, my name is Dahlia Chandra Hassan, and I am a junior at the University of Houston. I am a teaching and learning major seeking a certification for early childhood through 6th grade. My goal is to become an elementary school teacher for either kindergarten, 1st, or 2nd grade. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. I live with my mom and brother during the summer, but I live on campus during the year. My mom is from Taiwan and my dad was from India. They both came to the United States when they were very young. My mom speaks Taiwanese, which is a dialect, and my dad's family speaks Malayalam, which is also dialect. Because of my parents' backgrounds, I should be able to speak 3 languages, but unfortunately, I can only speak English. Growing up, my mom did try and put me in Mandarin classes, which I did not take seriously and unfortunately ended up quitting them. Although being able to speak a second language was important to both of my parents when I was growing up, the importance of being fluent in more than one language was lost in the day-to-day craziness that was my childhood. It wasn't until middle school that I was interested in becoming dedicated to speaking another language. In middle school, they offered Spanish classes for 7th and 8th graders, which I decided to take. I ended up taking Spanish classes from my 7th grade year to my sophomore year in high school. When I stopped, I lost a lot of my Spanish speaking abilities, and now I can only understand a little bit of Spanish. I think a big part of becoming a teacher is making one's classroom open and accepting for all students, even if there are barriers of language and ability. I think a lot about how hard it must have been for my parents to grow up in America and have to learn English so quickly and assimilate to the extremely different culture over here without warning of what it would be like. It always amazes me to think of how brave my parents had to be at such a young age to go through school without having any assistance from the school in their classes. Neither of my parents were given the luxury of being in ESL classes and instead were thrown into a world that they knew very little about while simultaneously having to learn English, a language that is extremely difficult to learn. I think that taking a class on second language acquisition will help me to become the teacher people like my parents needed as children. There are so many young children in school who have a difficult time going through their classes because it is hard for them to understand what they need to learn. Even though there are ESL classes, it is still not easy for students to pick up languages quickly. I think that it is important that all teachers make an effort to accommodate for students whose first language is not English and make small classroom modifications in order for all students to have comfortable learning experiences. If I cannot be an ESL teacher, then I want to be a teacher that is enthusiastic to make accommodations for students who need help with learning and who have language barriers. I'm really excited to see what this class has in store, and I can't wait to put it into practice. Thank you for listening. Go Cougs!